up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for yet another video, and today we have the 5K subscribers Q&A. So a few weeks ago I asked you all to submit questions that you want answered in the Q&A video, and I have pulled them up here on my phone and we are going to answer those questions. So let's get started here. We got a bunch of questions. I want to get through all of them, answer them properly, and then some information at the end of the video. So we'll get started here with Syracuse Aviation, and we'll start the Instagram questions first because I put up a poll on Instagram, and then y'all were also able to ask questions in the YouTube comments. But we'll start with the Instagram ones first. Starting here with Syracuse Aviation. Will you fly Emirates first class for us soon? Hopefully. I don't know when. United recently started a partner sale program with Emirates. It hasn't trickled down to the regionals yet, so I don't know when or if I'll be able to get that sometime soon, but hopefully I do fly Emirates first class. Yona asked, what do you think about the new Gemini Jets 764 mold? I'll begin that soon and we'll have a review of it. First looks, it kind of looks a little bit disappointing, so we'll see how that is. Outer Rim Aviation asked, favorite retired airline livery? So we'll go with two. First we'll go with an airline no longer exists, and then we'll go with an airline that still exists that has retired that livery. First, the airline that is retired, AirTran Airways, I really like both their liveries that they had. And then for a livery that still exists, Blue Tulip by United Airlines was a really good livery, as well as Battleship Gray. Both those retired liveries were awesome. Will we see any all retro updates again in the future? I know it's been a while since I've done one, but maybe at the end of the year. Usually December is when I do like retro updates, so I'll see if I can try and roll one out in December or something like that. But now that a lot of collection is coming here, and I have basically everything here, there's a very good chance that a all retro update can happen. Transport topic asked, favorite airline? Delta. Delta is my favorite. Delta is my favorite airline. Best 400 scale model company. This one is gonna be, I don't really have one answer, I have two. Gemini Jets and NG models are the best in 400 scale without a shadow of a doubt. They make the most molds, have the most production. Each is good for their own purposes. Gemini Jets does a lot of the North American models that we really want quite well, whereas NG has a huge variety and diversity with a lot of the best molds. So take a pick, whichever one you want, and that's the best company. Favorite model? It's hard for me to pick a favorite model that's like my all-time favorite because I have a bunch that are like favorites of mine. But if I had to pick one, it's probably going to be this here, Antonov 225 by Gemini 200. I love this model. I'm part Ukrainian, so that model matters to me. It was the largest airplane in the world. I also really like the Gemini Jets KLM MD-11 PHKCB, really good model. And I'm waiting on a new release, Gemini Jets Delta 752, because one of those is one of my favorites. I have one. Right here, here's one that's on the 200 scale display shelf. This is a favorite model, very gorgeous plane. This is the 2015 release. I also have the 2017 release as well, which was a good model, but unfortunately it's missing its nose gear. What's your biggest goal this year? Well, I mean, I have a lot of different goals. Some of them are personal goals, and I won't really talk about those, but in terms of like aviation or YouTube goals, social media goals, I really wanted to try and photograph as many new airport locations. I set a goal at the beginning of the year to photograph and get photos on jet photos at 15 airports I'd not photographed at before. I'm probably not going to hit 15, but I think I can do 10. I'm at 8 right now. I just did Cleveland Beckley Lakefront Airport, the air show. Got a picture up of an FA-18. Hope to get a few more from there, but that's a goal that I have. Another one is to try and fly over 50 flights this year, somewhere between 50 and 100. I'm at 44 right now, so I only have 6 left to go, and October is going to be a huge month. Probably going to do somewhere between 10 to 20 flights. I know I'm going to do 10 for Soy, and probably closer to 20. So I'm definitely going to hit that goal this year for Soy, and really been enjoying that. Another one I had was to fly a 752 and a 753 from both Delta and United. And I've done United 752s twice and a United 753, and I've flown a Delta 752 this year. I'd like to fly a Delta 753. I should be able to do that. Another one that I kind of have is to try and fly every single US operated A321neo. I flew, the first one I did was the Spirit A321neo inaugural service in June, and I recently flew a Delta A321neo. Both great experiences. I hope to fly the JetBlue and American ones here soon, as well as the Frontier. Those fly out of Cleveland, so I could probably just hop on a non-red flight there. And then hopefully I'd like to try and fly an American one at some point. A little bit more difficult to find those. I'd have to probably fly out of Philly and do like transatlantic or something, but I could probably do it. So we'll see. I want to try and fly them and see what happens. JetBlue probably will be the most difficult. I'm in the United's getting theirs at the end of the year too, so I want to fly on one of those. What's your thoughts? On what? What do you want to know? I got some secrets. Do you like CRJ200? Asked by CRJ200. So for those who are interested, the CRJ200 is an aircraft. It's a small regional jet, holds about 45, 50 people. And for those of you who know me, know that I do not like this airplane at all. It's one of my least favorite aircraft ever made. It's not that good, in my opinion. I do not like the CRJ200. That doesn't make it the worst airplane ever, but I don't like it. It's uncomfortable to fly on. The seats are tiny. There's very low ceilings. The windows are really low. It's a difficult aircraft to walk on if you're on the ramp. It's just an annoying aircraft in general. That's what happens when you turn a private jet into a commercial airline. There are definitely some compromises that happen there. And so I don't really like the CRJ200 at all. In fact, it's, in my opinion, the worst commercial airliner in service today. Cheapest model you bought. This is an interesting one. There were two actually. Back in like 2015, I bought two models. They were both $13, and it was on what is now Diecast Jets. At the time, it was called the Jet Photo Story, and then became Diecast Jets. And they had two older Gemini releases, early Gemini 757 releases. The Aeromexico 752 and the United States Air Force C-32A, often referred to as Air Force 2 752. That was the first release, not the newer one, but the first release. And so I got each of those models for $13 a piece. $26 for two, really good deal. And I still have those models in my collection. I don't have them here right now, but they're at my parents' house still, but I'd have to go pick it up and get it. But those are really, really good models that I'm happy to have in a collection. What is your travel bucket list? Well, I have several, and it's one of those things where the list is really long. There's a lot of things I want to do because, you know, I can fly and go to a lot of places. So some place I really want to go to is I want to go revisit my home country, Latvia, do that for a week or two. Really want to go visit Japan, really want to visit like Eastern Asia in general. Would love to visit Australia and New Zealand. Would love to visit Germany and much of Western Europe. And just Europe in general, I'd love to visit most of the countries there. I would love to do a Viking river cruise as well. Bunch of things I want to do. I want to visit Canada, visit Mexico, want to visit all 50 states. There's a lot of things I want to do. Next question, do you have plans to become a pilot for Delta or the airline industry? Unfortunately, due to my vision and nystagmatism, I can never get the first class medical required to get my ATP. So instead I have my ADX and I tell the pilots what to do. It's great. What has been your favorite part of your 5K subs journey? All the people I've met, because when you become kind of a mini social media influencer thingy, you get to meet a lot of people through the comment section, through Instagram, DMs, whatever. In real life, people recognize you as like, oh, you're that guy on YouTube, whatnot. Like, yeah, I am. I've got to meet a lot of great people. So really the best part of the journey is all the people that I have met on the way. So you guys really have made it so that this has been an incredible journey for me. So that's really my answer. What's your advice on how to get to 5K subs on YouTube? If you want to get to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube or really get to any big social media mark, you really have to have a unique brand for yourself. Something that's uniquely you and that's just you, that no one else could really do or replicate like how you do. You have to be very personal, not in like sharing personal information, but in like it being clear that this is you and this is how you do it. And that you have to be honest about that and make a unique brand that's clearly you. In terms of like how to make viral videos, there's ways of doing that. I might do another video on that. I did one like years ago, back in 2020, on how to be successful on YouTube. All right, now we move to the YouTube comments themselves. First question is EasyJet or Ryanair? I'm gonna go Ryanair just because I'm a little more familiar with them and their operations, and they operate Boeing 737s. That's really my only reason. Neither airline has a good reputation in terms of like the overall quality of service, but they're cheap flights. If that's all you want, they're gonna be good. Next is how many countries have you visited? It's gonna be 5. The United States, Germany, Poland, Latvia, and the Netherlands. I want to increase that amount quite a bit, but 5 so far. Have you ever fly the airline Royal Brunei? I think you meant to say have you ever flown, but yes. Royal Air Brunei. It's not an airline I've ever flown. I've heard some decent things about them, so maybe I'll give them a shot at some point. What is your favorite commercial airliner? Boeing 757-200. Simple answer. 752, best airliner, and then 787, also a favorite. 777 is really good. I have a lot of airlines I like, but if I had to say one, 752. What was your first plane you ever flew on that you remember? The first plane I ever flew on was a Eurowings Dash 8 from Riga to Warsaw, and then Warsaw to Dusseldorf. I want to say it was a Q400. I don't know. It was back in 2002, but it was a small commuter. I think for Lot Polis Airlines was the operator, but some sort of like small prop aircraft. And then from Dusseldorf to Frankfurt, Lufthansa 737-500, and then Dusseldorf to Washington Dulles, Boeing 777-200 for United. So those are the 2 that I know for sure I was on. What is your rarest model and what is your favorite model? Well, favorite model, again, very hard for me to determine, but you know, probably gonna be this one. Rarest model, it's actually one of these is probably it. This is the American Airlines MD-80. I don't really want to pick it up because it's polished metal and whatnot, but you can see it there. American MD-82, this is the Gemini Jets November 488 Alpha Alpha. Quite valuable and difficult to find on the market. Another one is the Gemini Jets KLM MD-11 PHKCB. I need to bring that over here because that's, again, one of my favorite models of all time, but really special and expensive and difficult model to get. Those are some of my rarest models, but there's a bunch of very rare models in my collection, but those are 2 of them for sure. Why did you start making videos? And what was your first model? Okay, so why did I start making videos? Really, it was because I went back when I would watch YouTube videos back in like 2012, 13, 14, before I started making YouTube videos. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll make some airplane related videos. And so I started in 2015. And then this channel started in 2019. So it was a fun experiment, something fun to do, and something that I enjoyed doing as a hobby. My first model ever, I got 2, and I got them almost 10 years ago. I'll make a special video about collecting for 10 years, but those were the Skymarks MX-A380 and the Skymarks LR747-400. Both I got in Christmas 2014, both 200 scale, and I still have both models. First actual diecast model was, for me personally, it was the Lufthansa, the Virgin America A319 by Gemini Jets, and then the Lufthansa 747-400 and the Air Trans 717-200 and the KLM MD-11 PHKCB. So those are my first like 4-axle like diecast models. Here's a good question. I'm an aspiring aircraft dispatcher. Do you like it? How did you get started? Would like some info because I really want that career. Actually, it's interesting because I've had a bunch of people ask me about it, and at some point I would love to offer one-on-one coaching and consult sessions for people if they're interested in that, for a fee of course, but I would be interested in offering that service at some point to people, specifically because each individual has a one-on-one situation. Each person's situation is different and what they want to do in the aviation industry, but being a dispatcher is a very good career field to get into, particularly right now, and I love it. It's a great job. Some days are rougher than others, but you know, every day, every job is like that. How did I get into it? Actually, it was suggested to me when I was on the ramp. One of my supervisors recommended, he was like, hey, I think you might be good at it. So he kind of guided me on how to get into it and that sort of thing. So I did that, and it's worked out really, really well for me. So thank you to that one particular supervisor who recommended me check out dispatching, because it was the best career move I made. And so it's one of the things where I tell people, hey, the people you know in life are gonna be the things that take you places. Your knowledge, what you know, can take you only so far. It's the people that you know that will get you way, way further than you ever estimate in life. So get yourself surrounded by good people who want to see you succeed and who can help you out. And those people are the ones that will get you to where you want to go to. So really, it's all about the people you know and the connections that you make in life. That's really what will get you the farthest. And also get rid of people who aren't getting you anywhere. You don't need them. Trust me. Make better friends. What is your favorite plane? Boeing 757-200, Gulfstream G550, Boeing 787. Although the 787 is starting to go down the list a little bit, but Gulfstream G5, Boeing 75, my two favorites. What is your least favorite and favorite airline? So favorite airline is Delta. Least favorite, I don't really have like a personal least favorite, but if I'm just gonna go by safety record, I'm just gonna go Pakistan International Airlines for now. They need to improve their safety record. But I'm sort of things that I'm working on. There's some others that are known for bad safety records, like Nepal Air, but that's mostly because of the very difficult conditions that they fly in. Do you prefer 200 or 400 scale models? This is an interesting question, because most people have a preference of which scale they like the best when they collect model airplanes. Back here, these are mostly my 200 scale models. I do have some 1/72 down there, but I collect 1/72, 200 scale, and 400 scale. 400 scale I do for models I'm interested in or for airports. But for me, the policy for those are those have to be aircraft that I've seen or flown on. Or in some cases, an aircraft that I haven't seen yet, but I probably will at some point and I need them for an airport. So the 200 scales are special models for me. These are models that mean something to me personally, more than just the plane I've seen on. So the B-58 here, is, in my opinion, the most beautiful airplane ever made. So that's there. 225, personal connection from my home country, from where I'm from, and it's a gorgeous model, largest plane ever built. I've flown a United 787. I've flown American 737s, United 752 in the Bowsett Gray. That's back here. Airbus 319 for United. I've flown those. A lot of these aircraft I've flown, I have personal connections to, and that really matter to me. So I don't really have a preferred scale, I just have different purposes for the scales. So that's my answer to that question. I probably collect more. I collect more 400 scale models because you can fit more of them in smaller space, and you can buy more of them because they're not as expensive. So if I had to pick a favorite, probably I'd say 400 scale, but to me it's more of what the purpose of the model is as to which scale I'm going to buy it in. In some cases I'll buy it in both scales. Top favorite dream plane spotting airport location? Well, if I could pick any place, I'd pick Cal Tak International Airport, Hong Kong, before they closed it. But that's not an option. So, favorite locations, there's some good ones out there. The favorite ones that I've been to are gonna be the Spotting Hotel, Renaissance Concourse in Atlanta. That's a favorite location. The plane spawn location in Fort Lauderdale is really good. Dallas's Founders Plaza is a favorite spawn location. I've been there many times now. I love it. There's quite a few that are favorites of mine. But there's some I really want to go. St. Martin is on my list. I have to go to St. Martin. That's like a holy grail for most people. You have to get to St. Martin at some point. But there's some other places. Frankfurt has some good spots. I really want to go to a Spotting Hotel Tokyo Haneda. That's a good spot too. So a bunch of places I want to go check out. So American Av Geek asks, I know this one may sound common, but I really need it. What are the factors of having videos that get lots of views? So this is always very complicated. Getting a video that makes a ton of views is going to be a bit of a science and a bit of a hit and miss. Because sometimes you'll make a video that is super successful and just blows up. Sometimes you'll have a video that just tanks, and you maybe did the video the exact same way. But there are some things that you can do to make your video more successful. YouTube generally likes videos of about 10 minutes in length or more. That's one thing. You have a compelling intro is really something that can help out. One of the videos I did, one of my top videos, my second most viewed video ever, is that how to build an incredible model airport. That had a great thumbnail. Thumbnails really matter, and it had a great intro. It was about a 34-second intro there. Those two things really boosted that video a ton more than it normally would have been. And it was an interesting subject matter that not too many people have covered. So because of that, that video really blew up. And so if you can find things like that, those are really going to help you out. But it does take some experimentation. Also video titles help, tags help, there's a lot of things that can help, but those are some things that can really help strategize to make your video more successful. What are your top 3 model aircraft that you own? Again, this is like a favorite aircraft question. It's very difficult for me to pick like my exact favorites because it changes and I like a lot of my models. But again, 225, probably going to be my favorite. What is your favorite aviation memory? your least favorite model airplane, worst flight, and best flight. Congrats again on 5K. Thanks. Favorite aviation memory is probably going to be going to Airlines International 2023. That was such a great experience. Me and so many people, seeing so many model airplanes for sale, plane spotting, doing a bunch of aviation things. I wish I'd been able to do everything at Airlines. It just wasn't able to make it work this year. Hopefully 2024 I'm planning to go, and with that I am planning for Airlines 2024 to be a big year for me personally, in terms of probably being my new aviation favorite memory. We'll see, but I'm definitely excited to see what Airlines 2024 holds. But Airlines International 2023 probably my favorite Airlines International that I've been to, and my only one, and my favorite aviation memory probably. So that was really good. Let's see, your first model airplane was the two Skymarks aircraft, the MX380 and LR747 as mentioned. Worst flight and best flight. Worst flight was on American Airlines. So for those of you, yeah, I've had my worst flights have all been on American. So it just is what it is. American's not been that good to me. So when I went down to Dallas for dispatch school, both those flights were mediocre at best. And the service was not good, the seats were uncomfortable. It just wasn't that good. So I've had better experiences elsewhere. Another one that I didn't really like actually was a SkyWest flight, Delta Connection Des Moines to Minneapolis. The crew was kind of rude actually. No snack service, they just wanted to get to the hotel. It's pretty obvious, they just wanted to get out of there. So that was also kind of a disappointing one. But yeah, American Airlines, the two flights I had to and from Dallas for the dispatch school, neither of those were very good flights. Those both on Airbus 319s. How did you get into aviation? Great question. Actually, no one else asked this question, which I was surprised by. But I got into aviation. My father would travel for a business back in the day, and he would tell me about the experiences, and then he would take myself and my brother over to see planes at the local airport at the time. It was Pensacola, and they just built a spotting park. So we'd go there, watch the airplanes come in and take off. It was cool. I enjoyed it. And I started getting into aviation as a result. There's also the Naval Aviation Museum over there in Pensacola, Florida, and a bunch of fun things that you can do there. So I really had a great time experiencing everything that Pensacola had to offer at the time, and got into aviation at about that time, and have really liked aviation ever since, and have gotten into it as a career, which I'm very happy about. Hawaiian Air 2121 asks, what is your favorite airport update that you've made so far? I've had a lot that I really liked. I don't know if I'd call it an airport update, but that how to build an incredible model airport video, that's one of my favorite model airport videos I've ever made. I had a lot of fun making it. It was a lot of work to put this setup together, but I really had fun making it, and just so happened the video did really well. But in terms of like model airport updates that I've had fun with, probably one of the fictional model airports. I've done like a Burlington, Central Carolina. It was probably that update like right after I recorded that video where I did the new setup, just put a bunch of random models out there, including the Cubana TU204. That was so much fun. I had a great time with that. That's probably one of my favorites I ever made. Alright, we have two questions left. First one here is from Dreamliner Fan 2016. Since you have already spotted at San Francisco International Airport, how fun would it be if you plane spotted at Sacramento International Airport? I heard it's one of the fast mid-sized airports in America, and SMF has some nice spotting locations there. It could possibly be because it's your home airport, could it? But yes, I would love to take you up on the offer to come out and visit at Sacramento and to plane spot there. That is an airport on the list. I'd love to do it. Final question here by Bongo Planes. Really good question that he asked here. It's kind of a long one. I myself am mostly focused on scale 500, where I know you are mostly into scale 400. While I know many great people that collect either scale 500 or 400, I do sometimes get the feeling that the two communities could be closer and learn from and support each other, as many of the challenges that we as collectors face often aren't that different. What do you think might help bring the scale 500 and scale 400 communities closer together? Good question, and I think actually one of the ways to answer this is by going over really what are some things that make the communities different, because there's not really much in common with the 400 and 500 scale communities. I think a lot of that really has to do with some differences that the scales have. They're both similar. 400 scale and 500 scale are fairly close in the size of the planes. 500 scale planes are a little bit smaller, and there's really a kind of a difference in where the communities come from. 500 scale came from Europe, mostly, with Hopper being a German company and really being like a European derived scale, whereas 400 scale is an American scale, mostly popularized by Gemini Jets. And as a result, the two communities kind of focus on different things. 500 scale, you mostly look at people who collect European models and airports, whereas 400 scale is a lot more of North American model airports and models. I think another reason why there hasn't been too much cross compatibility with the two scales is due to the fact that a lot of people pick one or the other. They don't really do both because of how similar the sizes are. Whereas like if you do 200 scale, which I do quite a bit as well, 200 scale is so different from 400 scale. 500 scale is so much bigger that you can collect both 400 and 200, or both 500 and 200, but you don't see too many people who collect both 400 and 500, probably due to the similarities. What could be some things that could be done to make the communities closer? Well, I definitely think some collaboration between creators of both 500 and 400 scale, and we're definitely planning some things there. Intermingle more with each other, because I know oftentimes people in some communities will stay together in that one community and never like branch out. I always recommend people go meet other people. You can have your friend groups and your close companions and whatnot, but always go out and try and meet new people. It spices your life up in an interesting way. You can learn from other people, and you can meet other people who are interested in other things, such as 500 scale. You can learn more about that. So go to more conventions, meet people. It's just what I recommend. So those are some things that could be done to help make the community closer. I think there's always going to be a little bit of difference between the two scales just because of how close they are to each other, and you kind of have to pick one. But there definitely could be some things to bring content from both scales kind of close together. I know you've done some of that on your channel, and it'd be fun to bring some 500 scale content to my channel as well. So that's it for the questions. Thank you all to everyone who submitted a question, and thank you all for 5,000 subscribers. That's a huge milestone. So thank you to everyone who subscribed and who watches these videos. At the time of recording, I'm over 5,200 subscribers now, so we'll be rapidly approaching 6K soon, at which point a collection video will be coming out. You want to see my full collection? Get me 6K and we'll bring that out to you. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. You learned a little bit about me and some questions you might have had. So thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for videos. I'm going to see if I can do consistently 2 videos a month this month. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.